To the State of Northeast Arkansas, a show dedicated to the organizations, businesses, and people that make Northeast Arkansas unique. Today's episode features stories about an axe-throwing establishment bringing a slice of fun to our area, a local entrepreneur and student who helps tell the story of people's lives through her photography, and finally, the story of a local business helping to keep the roof over all our heads. Today's episode will also feature an in-studio interview with Jacob Osborne, a local film director, about the release of his upcoming film. Join us as we explore these inspiring narratives and more, all woven together in the rich fabric of Northeast Arkansas. Welcome to the State of NEA.
Welcome to the State of NEA for October 11, 2023. I'm Tristan Harlan. This week, Brady Michael ventured to Redbeards 870, a rustic yet charming axe-throwing business in Brooklyn. Owner Joe Sullen sat down with Brady to discuss his passion in running his own business, which started out as a lumber and fencing company. Eventually evolving into an axe-throwing establishment, it was clear the passion Joe had, combining all the aesthetic elements are all around the building. It's a hub, just waiting for customers. That stands true, especially for students at A-State.
Are you looking for a spot to take a lot of stress off because you're mad at your professors? Do you want to just break out of your comfort zone and maybe throw an axe? Well, we're here at Redbeards 870, and we're going to go inside and talk to owner Joe Sullins and learn a little bit more about what you can do at Redbeards.
Carrying the Redbeard branding at every stop in his career, it didn't start with axe throwing.
I am Joe Sullins. A lot of the town just knows me as Redbeard. We have had a few businesses over the years that always are branded with that name.
So what ended up leading you into starting Redbeards 870?
So the axe throwing came about a few years ago. We actually started it under a different name, me and a friend of mine from high school. And when COVID hit, we closed it and my restaurant and focused on my other business, which is a fence business that we've had for years and years. And whenever COVID kind of started to dissipate, we decided it was time to utilize the space and reopen it. But when I did it, I wanted it to be a much nicer and more elegant feeling place than what it was before.
Yeah, and what went into that design choice here? Because the place was really extravagant. It fits the vibe.
I was really careful with choosing someone to help me with that, and Hope Mitchell, she's local to Jonesboro also, and she did all of the design work and told me everything that I needed to do to make it look like this.
And it worked.
And it turned out really good. I'm really proud of it.
Yep. What are all the activities that you can do here at Redbeards outside of just axe throwing?
So we also have a rage room that we put in when we reopened it as the new facility. And whenever you do a booking for a rage room or axe throwing, hour and a half, whatever it is, then the rest of the games in here are utilized after you get done with that for as long as you want to stay and hang out and just kick it with your friends, like our darts and cornhole and horseshoes, some table games, some tic-tac-toe, air hockey, there's a couple other games, just random stuff all over this place.
So there's a few that I haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to mess
Probably
around with over there.
the Dags game is a guy created it as a bar game that he wanted something fun that nobody else really had yet, and that's why I ordered it, because you can't play it anywhere else. It's just kind of like a table version of cornhole.
Just 12 minutes from campus, college students are more than welcomed, especially when they host special events at Redbeards.
So safety, a major thing, and we're going to have some stupid college students. So what is the important safety, and what is the biggest thing as far as protocol goes?
So as far as when you're in here throwing, you don't have to wear any type of safety stuff. We do, on the website, it tells you that you need to have closed-toed shoes on. Stuff does bounce back every now and then, but typically it's not anything like those crazy videos you've seen online, because they have had the wrong material down on the ground and made it bounce. But that's why these dividers are up, because if it's going to bounce, typically that's what it does. It bounces to the side instead of back up here.
This week, Crystal Smith sat down with Paigerudiger to discuss Paigeland Productions, her personally owned business. Paige is a well-rounded photographer that does everything from senior pictures to wedding, maternity, and newborn photos. Paige has been running her own business for a couple years now, and she has a lot to show for it. Her photography is astounding, and her work ethic is like no other. More about Paigeland Productions from our producer, Crystal Smith. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Crystal Smith, and this week I'll be interviewing Paigerudiger. She owns her own small business, Paigeland Productions. Not only does she own her own small business, but she also is a social media manager for 2 companies. Not only is she a part of that, but she's also an amazing A-State student. This week, introducing Paigerudiger.
It's Paigeland Productions. I'm the only owner, and I started it probably in 2020, around that time, and it wasn't anything big at that point. And it was really just because I liked doing photography and videography just for fun. And I started doing it because I was like around COVID, I was kind of like bored, whatever. And I had recently got a camera right before COVID happened. So then I started messing with that, and I'd been into doing photography and videography since I was probably like 10 years old, but never really seriously until I joined my high school's broadcasting team. So then it was kind of like, I really like to do this, why not do it as a little side job?
So more about your business, like you said you've done senior photos.
Yes.
What other kind of photography or videography do you do?
Okay, so I do seniors, I do weddings, I do families, maternity, newborn pictures, and then advertisement too. The wedding part of it, I got into it through my friend London. She has the London Lens. She goes to school in Conway, and she had me second shoot for her a few times, and that's kind of how I've gotten business doing that. And then the other stuff, I really was just doing it on my own and advertising on Instagram and Facebook, and family, friends of friends of friends, and then that's kind of how I started getting families that I was doing in maternity, and through work and just connections, really.
Nice. And did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I love it.
Good.
I love it. It's so fun. You meet so many people, and you're at somebody's wedding. Like, how is it not fun?
It's beautiful.
But yeah,
it's
really, really fun.
Yeah. So can you, I see you have some equipment here. Can you show me some equipment, what it does?
Okay. So recently I got this DJI mini drone. This is, I believe, the Mini 2, yes. And super small.
Yeah. Mind if I hold it? Is it lightweight? Oh,
yes,
yeah, it's pretty
super
light.
small, but it's really cool. It has a 4K camera, and the camera also has a gimbal on it. So even if it's windy or whatever, it still looks super smooth. So that is like my new thing right now. I use that all the time, and I actually used that at a wedding recently. So I have that. I also have this gimbal, which I don't have it turned on all the way right now. But this is what I use for a lot of my videos because it keeps everything still. So you could be like walking or you can be running, and it's going to be shot very still.
Where can people find you? Where can people book? Like, are you on Facebook? Are you on multiple social media accounts?
Okay, so I have Instagram and Facebook. That's where you can find my pages. So it's just Paigeland Productions. And then I also have a website. It's paigelandproductions.weebly.com. And then I also have TikTok. I do like behind the scene videos on there too. And you can book through my website or just send me a message on any of the social medias.
Sounds good. Well, we really appreciate you coming out today. Thank you so much for showing us your
equipment. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
State of NEA will be back after this break.
ASU-TV, shows like Redwolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
Redwolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you how.
Welcome back. R&H Siding is a company local to Jonesboro that handles building expansion and infrastructure development. Tristan Harlan discusses with one of the owners, Kyle Reynolds, how this business got started and exactly how one gets into the construction industry.
Construction is a part of everybody's everyday life, and we're out here today at Northeast Arkansas OMS with R&H Siding, trying to make this place look as beautiful as ever. Join us as we join them on a trip on the construction site. All right, guys, I'm standing here with Mr. Kyle Reynolds. Mr. Kyle, how you doing today?
Doing good. Thank you for asking.
So we're out here in the construction site where he is currently working, and Mr. Kyle, I'll let you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys are doing out here today.
Well, my name's Kyle Reynolds, and I own R&H Siding Seamless Gutters, and we're doing an addition out here off of Browns Lane, doing some soffit work and porch soffit work, a little bit of woodwork. Been doing this now for about 20 years, mainly new construction, you know, remodels ever so often. Got my main crew here working on everything, and we've been here this is probably our third or fourth day. And once we finish the trim work on here, we'll go in and do gutters around the building as well. Well, I always like being outside, building things. You know, I've always liked that as a kid, playing with, you know, Legos, early stuff like that, putting things together. And started while I was in high school working for a friend of the family. And probably worked with him for a couple years, and then went into a couple other things, and just the construction part, just building and doing stuff like that brought me back to it. Worked with him, health issues kind of got him in a pinch, and I kind of started taking over the business aspect of everything, and kind of just slowly would do a few jobs and would kind of pay him a little bit to kind of get his equipment. And it just kind of took off from there, and it's been pretty good so far. Well, I remember doing a job out at Sage Meadows for a fella, and just doing the work on their house. It was their personal house, and just seeing, you know, how excited they were and everything, and how much they saw the improvement after we got done with the job and during the process of the job and everything. It just feels good.
Right, and for those that may not be familiar with the construction role, the construction aspect, what's maybe the longest job you've ever completed?
The longest job, I would say, well, I'll be honest with you, it was at Ridgeport. That's probably one of the biggest houses I've done. It's probably a 13,000 square foot home, and we were out there for probably three and a half weeks. Had to rent a lift and everything to do that as well. Usually, on average, we're on jobs, new construction homes, probably anywhere from 3 to 5 days based on the size of the house. Anything that starts pushing 2 weeks, if it's not weather related, you've been there almost too long.
Right, and I see you have a notebook in your hand. What exactly do you have written down, or you can share that stuff with us, and kind of what goes into that?
Oh yeah, this is my lifeline right here. Without this thing, I'm lost as I'll be. This is where I write down all my bids, all my quotes, all the contacts I get when people call me or shoot me a text. I'll sit down and write their name down, write their address, and everything I have in here is extremely important to me. Without this, I'm lost.
Well, again, thank you for taking the time to do this interview with me.
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you ever need some construction done, you know to come down to the guys at REH. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Sydney, the social media manager, and here's the state of NEA today. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In light of this, the Susan G. Komen Foundation is hosting the National 2023 Komen More Than Pink Walk, where you are Saturday, October 28th. The goal is for teams to walk to raise money for the foundation by participating in a team walk. More information about this, you can visit komen.org. Arkansas City has announced a statue unveiling for John H. Johnson Day. Born in Arkansas City, Arkansas, Johnson was the founder and publisher of Johnson Publishing Company and the iconic Ebony and Jet magazines. The unveiling of the statue will be on John H. Johnson Day, Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, at the Arkansas State Parks Trailhead. More information can be found at arkansasstateparks.com. Arkansas Tech University invites local businesses, nonprofit organizations, and residents to register as project sites for the ATU Green and Gold Give Back Day of Service on Saturday, November 18th. ATU student volunteers will go into the community to rake and dispose of leaves and perform similar maintenance projects for the benefit of Arkansas River Valley and its people. For more information, email mbell11@atu.edu. The Mississippi River at the Arkansas-Tennessee border has reached a record low of negative 11.01 feet as of October 10th, which is the lowest the river has been at that location since records began. River level measurements all along the Mississippi are reporting low water because of a lack of rainfall in the Midwest. More on the story at arkansasonline.com. If you have an organization or event wanting to be featured on State of NEA, please email stateofnea@gmail.com. I'm Sydney Davis on social media. Join us after the break with State of NEA Director Drita Hess and guest interview Jacob Osborne.
The A-State Food Pantry aims to serve students, staff, and faculty with the necessary items needed to sustain a healthy and productive lifestyle. The pantry is student-led and student-run with 135 weekly volunteers.
During the 2022-2023 academic school year, the food pantry served nearly 4,000 clients, which is a 400% increase from last year. Over the summer, we saw an increased amount of individuals who came to the pantry, which means that our greatest need right now is donations.
Anyone can donate to the food pantry. You don't even have to be a member of the A-State community in order to make a donation. With the substantial growth of food pantry clients, it is urgent that we get the supplies that we need to fulfill those needs.
Every donation that is made is greatly appreciated, and by donating, you are making a tremendous impact on Red Wolves in need. For more information, you can get in contact with the A-State Food Pantry through pantry@astate.edu or 870-972-2055.
Redwolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you how.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Welcome back to State of NEA. What's better than colors in fall? Scary movies when it's dark out. I'm Drita Hess, and welcome to this week's Studio Talent segment, where today we will be interviewing filmmaker Jacob Osborne over his chosen craft, film. Jacob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a junior at A-State, a creative media production major with a emphasis in corporate media, and I was born and raised in Searcy, Arkansas.
Really cool. Well, can you tell us anything about what got you into media?
So it started a long time ago. It started, I'd say, first or second grade. I had my iPod Touch, and I had this app called Super Power Effects. And I took it to my friend's house and made a little movie with them. And I remember it vividly because I feel like it changed my life, you know? Mm-hmm. And so throughout my childhood, I kind of kept using that app, doing stop motion videos, different stuff like that. And for a while, I kind of fell off of doing videos. Wanted to be an author for a while, but decided I wasn't very good at writing. But then I got to high school, and I joined Lion TV, which is our news station at Searcy High School. And our final project for that class was to create a movie, a 5 to 10 minute little short film. And I exceeded the expectations a little bit because I ended up getting my friends together and making a movie that's a little less than an hour long. So
okay.
That's kind of what got me into wanting to make movies. I made that movie. It's called Ian, and ever since then I've been like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Awesome. Well, can you tell us about any of your other passion projects?
I feel like a big project for me, it was a big learning experience. We actually, my friends and I who were in Ian, we went to IHOP the night of the premiere because we premiered it at the Searcy Rialto Theater. And we were like, what do we want to do next? And so we got this movie idea together and we started filming it over a summer, and it just fell through. But it was a huge learning experience for me. And I feel like without that, I would not be in the same place I am today. But I feel like besides Ian, my biggest passion project, and besides my most recent film project, would be a short film called Wake Up. It is a little less than 5 minutes, I believe, and it's gotten me a lot of traction on YouTube. It has 50,000 views on YouTube.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
a lot of interaction.
surprised me too, you know. But I feel like it's just gotten me a lot of recognition and has kind of boosted my love for the craft.
Okay, well, I can see you've definitely participated in a lot of film, a lot of media, definitely more than me. Do you have any like common themes you like to come out in your works?
Well, I feel like most of my stuff is horror related, and that's because I feel like as a filmmaker, one of the easiest things to do to the audience is to scare them. You know, it might be super hard to make an audience cry, but it's easy to learn how to jump scare an audience or make them feel this tension. So horror is kind of the track that I've been on for a while. I'm looking to get off of that soon. But another theme that I've kind of noticed in my work is lots of groups of people working together. I've never done a short film besides Wake Up that's just about one singular person. So I feel like that's something else that I want to do, kind of do a character study of maybe one person, maybe a drama or something like that.
Yeah, well, that sounds really, really cool. So I see, you know, horror, you said there's less challenge, but you still face challenges?
Yes, you do.
What kind of challenges have you faced?
Well, for filmmakers starting out, you don't have access to a lot of sound beds, good horror music, good sound effects, without paying quite a bit of money. So unless you know where to look, I feel like that's definitely a setback. Horror props cost quite a bit sometimes. So just knowing what to do with a small amount, I feel like will go a long ways. And that's just something you kind of have to learn by getting out there and just doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we here at State of NEA have heard about your recent film, Murder in the Dark, and we actually have that file to play today. Prepare to be scared.
All right, who's ready for one last round? Game Master Kate, would you care to read the rules one more time for nostalgia?
Sure. All but one of you will have a normal playing card, but one will get a face card. That makes you the killer. The lights go off, and the killer has to try and take everyone out. Meetings can be called if you find a dead body by yelling "murder in the dark" and flicking the lights on. We'll vote on someone to kick out or abstain from it. The killer has to kill everyone but 2 people to win. Alright, lights off.
Oh my god, there's so much blood. No. Who did this? Who could have done this?
Everything's gonna work out. We can make it through this.
You're like a completely different person. You just wanted to abandon our friends the second you got the chance.
Just shut up and listen to me for a second. Nothing about this night makes sense.
What doesn't?
Okay, so first of all, someone comes to a cabin in the middle of the woods, breaks our phones, takes our car parts, and murders a high schooler. We would have heard them come in at least, right?
Ready?
Ready.
So what if they didn't break in? What if they were already inside?
Yeah, no, that was actually really good. That wasn't my first time watching the trailer, but it just gets better every time.
That's probably my 50th time watching it. So
I mean, if it was something that good, I would also do that for sure. Well, for Murder in the Dark, I know that is releasing October 27th and 28th at the Rialto Theater in Searcy. But for after that, do you have any ideas for new projects or?
Well, recently, I'd say late 2022, I had an author from London message me. I did on my email, and his name is Paul Kane, and he asked me to adapt one of his short scripts into a short film. So after Murder in the Dark comes out, I'm going to start working on that because that's an awesome opportunity. You know?
That is an amazing opportunity, especially with that being international. You know, you think sometimes the reach from Arkansas won't be that big, but it's shown that with the right skills, you can really reach anyone. Well, Jacob, it was just wonderful to have you come on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. To our audience, remember to check out Jacob Osborne's Murder in the Dark, October 27th and 28th at the Rialto Theater in Searcy for a seasonal scare. Hit us back next week, October 18th, for our 3rd episode, featuring stories on 3 local businesses that are both homegrown and healthy. With State of NEA, I'm Dorita Hess.